You're still with Nile Cruise on Nile TV, and President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi visited Cairo's Abbasiyya Cathedral Tuesday night to participate in the Coptic Christmas Mass and offer congratulations to Pope Tawadros II and the Christian community. The president gave a small speech in which he apologized for interrupting the Mass. He asserted the importance of his presence at the service and left shortly after speaking. Sisi is the first Egyptian president to visit a Coptic Christmas Mass since President Gamal Abdel Nasser. And we have joining us today Father Bimil, and he is the member of the Jesuit Catholic Church in Fagala, who will be talking to us more about this topic. Welcome and thank you so much for joining us, Father Bimil.
Father Bimil, thank you very much for being with us today on Nile Cruise. If we start straight away with President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi's visit to the cathedral in Abbasiyya on Tuesday, how did you see such a move?
I would say it was really a surprise, and surprise for the good reason.
A good surprise.
Yeah, a very good surprise.
Yep.
Especially this Christmas is a feast of love, love of it, and is a celebration of peace, joy, and love.
Yep.
And he really shared with the people his joy, his love.
It was a reflection.
He was, his plan was very little but to the point. And just his mere presence gave a big uproar that no, our president, who is the first leader of the country, is with us.
Exactly.
Because in recent years there has been some sort of insecurity, feeling of insecurity, I would say.
Sort of a gap.
And it was like, you know, when your own leader, your own president is with you, so it is like I'm with you not only in the time of joys, but in the time of all the situations. And then second point, he narrated and he said that I would say, you know, not only we Egyptians in here, but it is a message for the world that we are in here Egypt, so we are Egyptians, and irrespective of the...
Actually, this is going to bring me to the second question. What impact does this visit have upon the Copts in Egypt and abroad?
So direct impact is first and foremost that, you know, they are celebrating life together, being an Egyptian. They are celebrating life, they are celebrating Christmas being together, not alone.
Yeah.
So people are with them, and they are with them in all the circumstances.
Father Bimil, some Christians celebrate Christmas in January and others celebrate Christmas in June. So would you tell me more about the difference between both sets?
Especially the Oriental rites, we call it, the Orthodox, they celebrate on 7th of January. But in general, who are of Latin rite, and some of the Oriental rites who are with the Pope of Rome, so to say, they celebrate it on 25th of December. So to be very accurate, I would like to just quote from the paper.
Sure.
You know, they say that those who follow Christmas on 7th January, they follow Julian calendar. But whereas all the Copts have their own Coptic calendar, they have already.
Okay.
But in the 16th century, when Julius Caesar was in reign, that was in 46 BC, quite much earlier.
Yep.
So this calendar considered the year to be 365 days plus some extra days, and then had a leap year. So there was a difference with the date, with the age. And so towards the end of the 16th century, when it was coming, Pope Gregory XIII was the Pope of Rome, and he took interest in studying astrology, dates and feasts. And then he said, after consulting with the scientists, with the astronomers, he had his own idea. We call it a solar year. So when we look into the solar year, there was a gap of approximately, you know, few days. And so that gap keeps on with the years.
Yes.
So when that gap makes bigger, wider, Pope Gregory XIII, how to say, issued a decree saying that, you know, in AD 182 or 1582, October 5th will be called October 15th. And then the Julian calendar should be shortened by 3 days every 400 years. by making the centenary year a normal 365
days.
year. So like that was there. And then what happened, so in the time, the new calendar came to be known as the Gregorian calendar, and that is common among the civil calendar, we call it.
Yes.
So it is difference between of 10 days between Julian calendar
And the
and
Gregorian.
Gregorian calendar.
Yeah.
And so that is there, but it's not easy for a common person to understand,
the
why 7th January and why 25th of
25th of
December,
December.
like that.
Well, Father Bimil, let me take you back to the Egyptian church. Something back to the history, as knowing that the Egyptian church has always been an independent church, and it's the oldest church since 44 AD. And it's always played a fundamental role in sort of establishing the Nicene Creed, of course, as you know. And it was subjected to severe prosecution from the Byzantine Empire. But it's also well known for really standing to to its beliefs, the Egyptian church, and fighting all of that. Why do you think, is this reflected, in your opinion, internationally? Is this reflected politically, do you think?
See, at
as
times,
how strong it was
yes,
in
at
history?
times, whether you like it or not, because politics has a power, and it enters at times for the benefit and at times for the loss of the film. So that is there, and you cannot avoid it. It is there, and it will be there, so to say, because of certain reasons. Because whenever it comes to power, at times power corrupts, and becomes so selfish that he thinks for himself, for herself, and not for the other. And when he's or she is not thinking for the other, those things creep in.
So do you still think that this is that strength that we were talking about, of being the oldest and a very independent church, has it actually been reflected internationally as it should be, the Egyptian church?
See, because Egypt is one of the countries, I would say, one of the blessed countries, I would say, because when it talks of Christianity or even of Islam, for example, whatever happened in the Old Testament is very much vibrant still. When we talk of Moses, River Nile, Mount Sinai, whatever we talk, this is there. And then even for Islam, you talk, this is the seat of Sunni Islam, so to say. It's like we call it Vatican of Sunni Islam, for example. It's very much there. And so when there is there, this is the richness of the place. This is not found in any other place. And so this is very rich. So this should be highlighted in a positive
That's what
way.
I'm saying. Should be reflected more,
and
as
should
to
be
that.
discerned upon.
So, Father Bimil, what about the rituals that the Copts in general share in celebrating Christmas, about food or certain traditions regarding these celebrations?
See, I had the opportunity to be in Upper Egypt, and the real farming people. And because they abstain from all the milk products in preparation for this Christmas, means abstaining physically means how do I give more importance to the spirituality of the celebration.
Fasting.
Yes, fasting, abstaining from certain things. So they would abstain from all